So today I have my aunt's 2014 Hyundai Tucson here. Now I already diagnosed this a while ago. She needs both front window switches. So I usually do diagnostic videos. I didn't do that video, but the parts were back ordered. I couldn't get them at that time, but now they did come in. Somebody had an aftermarket switch, one or the other. I can't remember. It was either passenger side, driver side. But I decided just to wait and get the dealer ones when they came in back in stock. So today it's not going to be a diagnostics. I already did that, but it's just going to be an install video, how to install the switches on this 2014 Hyundai Tucson. So what happens with this vehicle is when the key's on, if the driver's window works fine. That's it. The passenger side does not go down, up or down from the driver's control. The rear windows will go down from the driver's control. Oh, where are we here? But they won't go up. And we also have the driver's side, or the passenger side will go down from the passenger side button, but not up. And it will go up from the driver's switch. Both rear windows will work from their switches on the door. So what I found when I did diagnose it, the driver's side switch is causing most of the issue, but the reason why the passenger side on the front won't go down or won't go up from this switch is that one's failed as well. Now I'm going to record doing the driver's door only. The passenger side door is almost the same, but the driver's side door you do with your left hand and the passenger side door you do with your right hand. No, not really. Do it however you want. I'm just letting you know that the passenger side door is identical to the driver, so I'm just not going to film that. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, we do have to take these door panels off because the switches themselves are fastened from behind. Some cars, they'll just pop out. They can lift up and they're on clips, they pop out. Figures, not this one. So first thing we'll do is get rid of some of the stuff here. There is a bolt down in there. I just put this stuff on the seat. Now this isn't so bad. You can find some pretty gross stuff in people's cars. This one's just normal old brushes and papers. That's a good thing. So what we're going to have to do is, there is a screw in this handle behind this cover. Just got to pick that cover down, and there you can see there's one there. Down in the handle, there's another one. Oh, jab that stuck on the end here. We have another one down in there. This one's, there's usually a cover on here. That one's missing, but there's the one screw. There's nothing along the bottom. These are clips, plastic clips that push inside there. But on the back of the door here, we do have two. There's a little hole here to pick this out. Now these are very tiny and easy to lose. These little caps. And just careful, pick them out. They like to just fly when you pick them out, and then if you put them down somewhere, usually they're the same color as the interior of the car, and they're going to be very hard to find if that's the case. So just be careful. Crap, I just lost one. Well, at least it's out here on the driveway somewhere. I should be able to find it fairly easy. It actually took off fairly far. I was surprised. There it is. Woo! That's good. I'm going to remove the, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, four screws. There's one. Two. Third one here. Sometimes I'll use my my cordless drill on door panels, but you can't, like this one, you can't really get it in there. It's right up against the panel, and even if you set the strength of your cordless drill, sometimes you can crack a panel, or it'll over tight, maybe pull threads. Sometimes they go through like a thinner, self-tapping thinner piece of metal, and just tighten it up, it'll spin. So you're always better on this kind of stuff is to do it by hand. This one has like a grommet that comes off with the screw. Make sure you don't lose that as well. And then there's one more down here at the bottom. Now I do have plastic removal tools for doing this so you don't scratch or mar the surfaces, but I didn't bring them home. So I'm putting a screwdriver back here. Sometimes if your screwdriver slips, you can scratch the plastic, or if you pry it for you can scratch the paint. So if you're going to do it with the screwdriver, use it under the door somewhere where it's not conspicuous, or you know, in the door jamb. If you do it right out where people are getting into the car every day, it's just not a good idea. Sometimes they're very hard to get off, other times they just pop normally. So once you get it out enough so you can get your hand behind, just you go around easy. You can put the screwdriver along, feel your next clip, and pull the next clip. That's a little safer, because then you don't risk cracking the plastic or breaking the clips. But this one, just pull. Yep, so now you can see the door, the clips are out. Now the door has to be lifted upwards off the top. Whoop. Forgot one thing. This cover over the speaker here has got to come off first. So I just put a little pick behind there, pull it straight out. There. And you can see it was in there with this clip. That's what holds it. I don't have to unplug it. I just move it off to the side. Now I can lift the door panel up. So once I get the door panel lifted, it comes out, and if I look in between, down in the door panel here, there's the lever. So if I just slide the door forward, that lever comes out. Now behind the panel here, I'm between the door and the panel. I have these wires to disconnect from the switch that I'm replacing. There's one, and then the other one. So there's the two connectors. Panel's off. And there's the back of the panel. So this switch here is what we're going to be replacing, and you can see it's held in by these screws. So there was 3 of these small screws, 1, 2, 3, to remove the mirror adjustment switch, and then on the switch that we're replacing, there was 1, 2, and then 1 down under here, 3 screws for the switch as well, the window switch. But then after you got the screws out, you push the tab down, there's another tab back here, and then the switch comes out through the outside outside of the door panel here. It'll lift out, and then there we have where the connector was. Sorry, and there is the switch that we will be replacing. Okay, so here are my passenger and driver side switches. They are out. Looks like my tea's getting cold. Anywho, the normally I would open the boxes before I take the door panel apart to make sure that they look right, at least from the outside, but I didn't do that. So I'm hoping inside this box we find what we want. It was ordered from the dealer by the serial number for the car, so I'm sure it's right. Yes, that looks right. And I did not know it was going to come with the mirror switch, but as you can see, that one looks identical, and the passenger side too, where we've got the right switches. Before I put the panels all back together, I'm going to just go plug them in and just make sure all the windows work properly, and then I'll put the panels back together. Okay, I've got the switch just in and hanging here, and up and down both work from here, and I also test my door locks work as well. Go around, hit the other side. I'm pretty sure, you know, especially with dealer parts, you normally window goes up, down, no problem. Drivers, up, down, no problem. And we've got both rear work as well. I want to check them, because just because they're dealer parts doesn't mean it's always good, but you have a far better luck of that, not dealing with aftermarket. So, little tab at the front there. Get the tab in underneath the panel, push it up, and then it just pushes. It should just push down in. That's all in there, nice. And now at the back of the panel, we just have to put the screws in. Now, I did not have to take this switch out ahead of time before. So these 3 screws, if you're replacing the switch with the dealer part that comes with it, then just leave that on, take it out as a unit. You'll only have to take out the 4 large screws, and don't worry about that. So once you get the screws all back in, we're ready to put the door panel back on. But what you have to watch is when you pull the panel off, there should be clips inside these holders like you see on this side. Now, when you pull the panel off, whether you use a tool or not, sometimes if you get a pry bar up in behind, and then you pry in behind here and try to pop that out of the door, whether you use a tool or not, sometimes they come off stuck in the door and not in the panel, and a lot of times they'll also break, and that usually happens. You know, the older the car gets, it's just plastic, it gets brittle and it breaks. You sometimes can damage the clips, and sometimes you can damage the door panel, like this piece here might break. So you got to be careful taking them off. This time, you know, nothing broke, I'm all good. But that's where one is stuck in the door. We got this. I have a tool for removing these, but you can get them out just with a screwdriver or something along those lines. And then you take the back of them, and then they just slide up in like that. So now that is ready to push onto the door and clip into that hole when we push it on. So transfer any ones that came out of the door back onto your panel. Now start by plugging in your 2 connectors. In. And then you just take the panel, sit it sit it on top of the ledge, and then push down, just like you lift it up to get it off. You push down so it sits on the ledge. Come around to the side, that lines up. Sometimes you can look through and make sure your pin lines up with the hole. Once it gets lined up, then just give it a smack. Come around the door, you know there's another clip here. There's another clip here. There. So now the door fits tight all the way around. I can't pull it off. Now we're ready just to put the screws back in. This is our tweeter that we can put back on. That just clips on there. Oh, I got the wire stuck in the side here. I have to lift out. There, so the wire's got to come out through the top there, just so it doesn't get in the way of the thing. And you've got that clip. Push into the hole and snap. That's good. And now we just replace the screws. So this handle bezel, actually it comes off when you take the door off. So you just pull the handle out, slide it in behind, and then now you can replace your screw in that one. I already replaced that screw with the missing cover. We got one in the bottom here, down the door, and then we'll have these two at the back. So once your screws are in there, you just want to lift that up, clip that cover back on, get the cover down inside the door handle. That covers on there, and then the two back here that I put in with the grommets, you've got the small covers that go on them. And there you have it. This is really not bad to do. Just careful not to break the clips if you can. If those clips break, they'll have to be replaced, but you can pick them up pretty much any automotive supply store or anywhere like that.